We're live, yeah?
Yes.
Am I sounding okay? Well, first of all, it is now 4 p.m. It's 4 p.m. And we were supposed to be starting at 2 p.m. So it's taken us 2 hours to get to this level. Hannah walked in, all guns blazing, and she described my house. She was in my kitchen and she said, disgusting. Really cut deep, actually, when you say things like that. You know, disgusting. I mean, it's horrible to be thought of as disgusting. I mean, disgusting is
inside the kitchen.
I've seen.
It's rubbish everywhere.
Yeah.
Food spread out everywhere.
And also because
not cleaned anywhere. There's a cat food rotting in the sink and in the rubbish bin. So even if you take the rubbish, that cat food, the bits of it are stuck into the container. It's just so vile. It's just living in a gut.
And that's why we're not together.
Yeah, I could not live in this place. It's just...
Oh, Christ almighty.
Want to cry.
Okay, folks, for the past few days, I've been putting up a foldable squat rack. Now to...
Yeah, like you can't do squats without a squat rack. I think squats
and
you
Hannah
can do anywhere.
Well, if we're going to say disgusting, Hannah is disgusted by the fact that I have aspirations to be fit and well.
No, I love it.
Yeah, and also that I have a
funny.
personal trainer called Danny who I really like, and she doesn't like that.
And he's not exercising because she's in Croatia. So
Okay.
he waits for her to come back.
Yes, that's why I have a personal trainer, because I wouldn't do it without her, because she looms over me, and for whatever reason, I listen to Danny.
So David's ultimate dream is Danny living with him. Somewhere in the corner.
Yeah, like a foldable Danny. you could just put her in a box. You could just inflate her, an inflatable Danny. No, so this foldable squat rack, I had to put these plates and secure them up against the wall. This is a 150-year-old house. Some holes that I drilled, the expansion bolts stayed secure. Some of them didn't. And so, because it is such a heavy piece of kit, you really need to have it secure against the wall. And so, I got this stuff called True Fix chemical, what is it called? Whatever. And you inject it into the holes that are crumbling, which I did. And then I put the bolts in, and it dried around the bolts and for 24 hours. And now I've fixed it. And I'm very proud of the fact that I figured out how to do it.
Yeah, and I must say, have you done it yourself or someone was
No,
helping?
Peter, my neighbour, assisted me in the first part.
Or was it the other way around? Were you assisting Peter?
Okay, maybe a little bit of both. Okay, do you want to start the podcast, Jack? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to And That's Why We're Not Together, starring David McSavage and Hannah Andrews.
Thank you. Welcome to Ireland's and, in fact, the world's most popular family podcast. And my princes, Jack and Prince Daniel. Jack, what's going on?
Well, I'm just...
No, Daniel, you're waving at me.
I was just...
Saying hello.
Sorry, I thought you were saying, is the sunshine on those?
Oh, yeah. We'll close the blinds there.
Well, the blinds are closed, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe do them up the other way. Do you know what I mean? Like, do them up that way. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Jack, Daniel, Hannah, we're just in Marseille for a week. Did you have a nice time? What was it like, the logistics of travelling to Marseille? How long did it take? Where did you fly from? What was the airline? Were they okay? Was it Ryanair?
Yeah.
I can't fly Ryanair. You can. Michael O'Leary freaks me out. You know, I don't get him. I mean, he vibrates at a strange frequency. I don't
think he's a great businessman.
Yeah. Okay.
He makes money. He's got a big villa. He's got, he got people flying from A to B for short distance. That's your choice.
I don't want to fly from A to B.
Do you want to pay more? Then fly different airlines. You want to go on the budget? Fly Ryanair.
I don't want to go on a budget.
We flew like 3 tickets.
Yeah.
Just basic 3 tickets to Marseille and back. Cost us €100. that's almost impossible
For the
to
three
fly.
of you?
For 3 of us. And then I just add extra luggage, which was €24 each way. So it cost me €150.
How was it? Can I just ask Jack or Daniel, how was your experience? Well, you guys are young, so you're easygoing. How was it, Daniel, your experience flying with Ryanair?
Well, I don't mind. I mean, I'm pretty used to flying at this stage, so I mean, it didn't bother me. I mean, it was kind of dozing off on the plane anyway. So
You see, Daniel is easygoing.
Yeah, but you said there were two kids
Oh,
sitting
yeah, well,
next to
on
you.
the way
They
back-
wouldn't shut
on
up.
the way back. Yeah, they were. These two teenagers were just talking constantly, and I think
What the fuck? Some people just talk all the fucking time.
But they were brothers and sisters. I mean, why would you be talking to your brother or sister for
and
so
then
long?
a guy behind them had his socks off, so
Oh, no.
he just had his feet showing. Like
Where's this, Jack?
on the Ryanair flight back
People
here.
are
But
pigs.
people can do it actually on any flight. It doesn't matter Ryanair.
Yeah.
Oh, you
No,
presume
but-
that Ryanair flies has customers.
No, do you know something?
less
It's funny.
equality.
It's funny how much more intolerant I am at my age, because I remember being young, flying to wherever, and people, you just kind of it was just water off a duck's back. But now, it's like, ugh! But anyway, that is a bit disgusting. People with their big smelly feet like poked out or somewhere.
Yeah, and there was this guy sitting. I've seen it. He taking off his shoes and socks, and then this big foot was visible. Like
Who was? So there was a guy. How big was his foot?
it was enormous. It was just like a size 11 or 12, and it was really wide. And he was quite chunky, but when he stood up, he wasn't that tall. But his feet were enormous. It's almost taking over the aisle.
I was in the count as well in the RDS. My brother got elected to
How
the.
we change the subject?
Okay,
so
sorry.
fast?
Because no, I'll tell you what it is, folks. We're going to do a short enough podcast today, are we?
Yeah, very short. Do
Oh
we
yeah,
have-
go on.
No, because we just don't want to bore people. I want them to be excited that we're saying something valuable.
Oh, do you know something? I said this on my Instagram that people are really invested in this idea of me trying to sell out this gig in Leicester Fuck Me in the Face Theatre June the 22nd. And then one guy, being empathetic, said, well, you're not selling because Taylor Swift is performing in London on the same night. And I was saying I hardly think there's much of an overlap with fans, Taylor Swift fans and David McSavage fans. But she has sold just for three, I think it holds 70,000 people, Wembley Arena, and she'd sell that out in a matter of minutes, right?
yeah.
So 70,000 tickets sold in a matter of minutes. It's taken me 4 months to sell 189 tickets. Okay. Yeah, but play that music. But I will not be overcome, and I will go to London, and we will fight them in the beaches, and we will fight them in the gardens, and I will sell out anyway.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
No,
I like it.
no, but anyway, Jack. Jack. Okay, so for me to sell out using the
maths, the projection.
Sorry, for some reason, 4 months it's taken me to sell 187 tickets. So using that metric, shall we use that word? It would take me 121 or 31 years to sell out Wembley Stadium. For me to sell 70,000 tickets. So I would be 181 years old. Yes.
To be long gone.
In 2,147. But it's incredible,
Yeah.
like the different ends of the spectrum, the scale. But I mean, how many gigs does Taylor Swift want to? I mean, it really is quite. I mean, it's the tip of the tippity top. It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, she just sort of kind of looks to a stadium and it's bonkers. It's incredible. I tried to understand Taylor Swift. I kind of looked into it, and it seems to. It transcends the actual music. It's the whole thing. She's created this universe.
It's
this
a community. It's Swifties, they're called.
Yeah, Swifties.
And if you say anything against...
They're quite violent.
It's like she's the supreme leader of Swiftland.
That's cult.
But I wonder, Jack, when the Beatles were at their height, were there people of my age going, what the fuck is these people? She loves me, yeah. Who gives a shit?
Well, like
I guess so. So it's just a generational thing.
Yeah, because when I was in Paris, we met this pianist, Philippe Cassar, and I was saying, well, you know, music is a subjective objective. I mean, the Beatles, you know, blah blah blah, and he was like, yes, the Beatles. I don't like the Beatles, you know.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people who think the Beatles are just kind of mainstream and you know.
But you know, she's very physically attractive, very good looking girl, and she has a way about her. She's quite self-aware. The way she's very kind of what's the word? What's the word? She's sort of kind of I don't know. She's like a bit of a superhero. The way she kind of carries herself. You know, there's something about. What was that great thing on Netflix that we watched about the defective superheroes?
The Boys, no?
Yeah, was it called The Boys?
The Boys, yeah.
But she kind of wears outfits like a superhero. So there's something, my God, it's not there's something. There is this thing that she's connected on such a level to a vast swathe of the population. And it can't be, I mean...
It wouldn't be mostly girls her age.
I actually saw I saw her in concert.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. Because a guy I knew, he had free tickets for it somehow. And
are you coming out, Jack? Daniel, are you coming out of the closet?
And how was it?
Yeah, sorry.
When was last year?
No, it was like, I don't know, good few years ago now.
But it's amazing,
I want to hear
she's not 30 yet.
No, she is 34.
Oh, so she's 34.
I've been looking into it. Daniel, okay, so about 10 years ago?
I mean, I don't know about her music, but I think she's a good performer. I think she's very good at working the audience, and she definitely knows what she's doing, like, you know.
Like she puts the work in, she's jumping around.
Yeah, like, you know, making it entertaining, you know. And I mean, I guess her songs are kind of like poppy catchy, so like, you know, I get why people obviously would like her, like, you know, it's easy to sing along with and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I can see the appeal, but
well, yeah, well, we're not, you know, obviously we're not but like I you know, I feel like I'm living in this world, but I'm not living in that world at all. I'm 58. I'm completely not Taylor Swift's demographic, but from a sociological point of view, I was kind of curious to see what is her big appeal. And apparently her albums are quite themed, and there's all these little, what do they call them, nest eggs or eggs or Easter eggs.
She's had a lot of celebrity relationships.
Okay,
so it's almost like a soap opera. It's the kind of Twilight. You know, the girls follow her life more than even her music. She's like what all the girls aspire to be.
And the music industry.
Yeah. And so, you know, and she might have broken up with, you know, what's your man in the Avengers? Liam Hemsworth.
She was good. She was riding Liam Hemsworth.
I think so, wasn't it? It was one of them. But anyway, she kind of like leaves little hints about them.
Oh, I
in
see.
Her songs.
Yeah.
And then like that makes a whole like people go on Reddit like, oh my God, she was talking about him.
I wonder what she's into sexually, Hannah.
Oh.
You know the way some people like to be some people well, some women. Is that her?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know.
No, do you know what I mean?
You
know what I mean? Like, some people seem quite normal. No, play it, but some people seem quite.
No, you can't, because we
you
can't
monetize it.
No.
It doesn't matter. Some people seem quite normal. Then you close the bedroom door, and it's like, here, will you grab me hair? Here, will you call me a dirty this? Will you do this to me? Will you do? You know, and they like to be sort of talked dirty to. And I guess that depends. That's something probably to do with background, childhood. So I guess we could probably surmise as to what she's into by her relationship with her father. All right.
She's actually going out with an American football player at the moment, I think.
Yeah, and
so she's into the rough stuff.
No. What they say that for once
she likes getting quarterbacked.
No, but what I read that for once she got someone who is at her level, in the sense that he's not.
He's not threatened. He's not threatened by her success.
And that she's public, and he's public in his own right. He's got a lot of followers. So
well, he should. Well, of course, that's good. Yeah, because his fans wouldn't necessarily be Taylor Swift's fans, so there'd be they wouldn't be in competition with each other.
The NFL fans are slightly like a few of them, quite a lot of them are annoyed because whenever they're watching the football they like pan over to her, and everyone's like, "Put the goddamn football back on."
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But also, so he's achieved greatness but it is
Yeah, so he's a public persona, so he does his.
But his profile has raised immensely.
But she
off that.
she does have a superhero quality to her. She's quite self-possessed. Is that the correct expression? Like
well, you used to call it narcissist.
No, she's not. She's not loose. Like she seems composed.
Yeah,
you know,
very,
in
very
interviews,
stiff
like
in a way.
Yeah, but it's like Anyway, but okay. So how was yes?
She's almost like an ice queen. She's very edited and very, like, everything is so proper and edited, so she doesn't make a mistake. Almost. Don't you?
She definitely. She's into the okay. So, Jack, any tips for people traveling? Didn't you say you had some tips for? Why are you laughing?
Tips? No.
What were you talking about? The
No, it's just like you have to be considerate. No, that's not something else about. Considerate about people you're traveling with. Don't bring.
There's
your
food.
own
Somebody
which
open
is
up.
really smelly.
No, sometimes you're in the tube in London and people open up a fucking crock pot full of fucking, it smells like a cat.
The same coming on the bus with food. I think should be forbidden.
Yeah, what is wrong with these people?
Yeah, I was talking to grandmother, and she was talking about the cinemas, the pictures back in the day. As you know, people only smoked cigarettes. There was no eating of food. That's something that pisses me off. Like when you go to a cinema and everyone's munching on popcorn. Like I like to eat the popcorn as well, but I have to be isolated in my own area of the cinema, or else I just can't focus on the movie.
Okay, yeah.
Listen, when I was going to cinema, when I was growing up, we didn't have any food, any drinks,
Well, you didn't have any food anyway, so.
Yeah, that's true.
No. But may I just say may I just say, sorry, it's important because I needle Hannah about, Poland, communist Poland. But I actually have immense, what's the correct word I'm using for admiration for how Hannah was so resilient and tough and strong. Or whatever, because they weren't the easiest of times, but what they had, they made absolutely the best of it. Like your mom and dad were, they had their own, what you call when you grow a garden? Do you have your own garden?
Plot.
What do they call that, Jack and Daniel? When you have your own garden.
It's an allotment.
An allotment. They grow their own vegetables. They pickle stuff for the winter. And
we really ate with seasons.
You ate with seasons. So what I'm saying is, yes, they were difficult circumstances in Poland. There was very little resources. I don't think I don't think there was. It was a fairly closed off country. You couldn't just stroll into Poland.
Do you agree with that, Hannah? Do you think?
They made the best with what they had. Like Hannah's parents had an allotment.
So.
They grew vegetables. They pickled it for the winter.
There was always a black market. There was
always a black market, but there was a great resilience to Hannah. Like although I make fun of Hannah and the situation in Poland, like I have a huge admiration for what Hannah went through. And it's a bit heartbreaking.
Hannah, you kind of, when you talk about those times as well, you kind of have quite a nostalgic feeling as well, don't you? It was not all doom and gloom, was it? Like there was a lot of you talk about great parties. There's a huge sense of community and stuff like that.
Oh, definitely.
Like it's hard to fuck up somebody's childhood. Even you know what I mean.
Tell the story when you did the sit-in in the Gdańsk University.
And what year was this?
Oh yes.
Was that the 80s?
Yeah, that was 1989.
Was that the time of Lech Wałęsa and Solidarność?
Yeah, and so we didn't want to let we were just basically with solidarity with Solidarność. We were just sitting in the university and we were surrounded by tanks, but no one was moving. But we were not like, we just we weren't scared. There was no life and death in our minds, because we were just seeing this as the best thing happen to us that we can fight for freedom.
And were you having like parties and stuff? I mean, I remember you saying you were, you just kind of having parties during the sit-in and stuff like that.
Oh, no.
No.
Well, parties, no. We were just like talking,
Right.
drinking, and, seeing what's, like we said, we're not moving,
Yeah.
Even though there were some people saying, oh, you're going to be expelled from the university for doing this. But there were too many of us to have consequences. But it was a great spirit of, doing something really meaningful.
It's like just from the toughness and from the adversity and from the lack of resources, this strong, beautiful people grew up. In a way, I think sometimes adversity or, with fewer resources and making them work for you sort of makes you tougher or stronger or something like that. Oh, not necessarily though. It's good to have. Well, although you had a really good education system at that time, was it?
Yeah,
Wasn't it
like well, was it that good? I'm not sure, but like you could access education quite easily as long as you were studying and as long as you get results and you.
So I'm just saying because when I make fun of the fact that you had a nectarine for Christmas.
Well, we didn't have nectarines ever.
Yeah.
We only had oranges and bananas. I never had a nectarine, I think, before I was 18. I never had a kiwi before I was 18.
Yeah.
So but it's not like you suffer immensely because of
You
that.
didn't, yeah, right.
And as a child, it doesn't matter, as long as you can play, as long as you have free time, as long as, your childhood is still good, I remember, playing in the snow with my brother, and we probably didn't have much, but we had an, incredible time.
Yes.
But yeah, whenever like we go over to Poland, like I always just love it, especially the allotment, because I mean, just the homegrown peaches and cherries and tomatoes and apples, everything that when you grow it yourself, I mean, it just tastes so much better.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, when I was growing up and my mother got an allotment and she sometimes made us go to work on the allotment. I'm telling you, I hated it.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't want to do it. I didn't give a shit about it. Was it tasting better or not? I just did not want to do it.
But you had to.
I had to do it.
And what would she make you do?
Oh, just like, pick up weeds or rake it.
How old were you?
I was like 13 or
Jesus.
12. Did I want to do it when I was 12 or 13? No, I didn't.
But I guess what I'm just trying to sort of formulate or process what it makes me feel when I hear you say, when you told me things like, you'd only get a mandarin or an orange or something, or you didn't have a kiwi until you were 18. Like, I don't know, now we can all live like medieval kings. We can go down to the Tesco and we can get strawberries, oranges, pineapples all year round. I don't know if it's just there's something admirable about how you. I don't know. What am I trying to say, Jack? Daniel, can please.
Yeah.
This
No,
sort of
well, I don't know. I think I don't know. I just think yeah, like
It just makes me proud of the fact that you lived.
But I'm still alive.
Not that you're still.
yeah, but I think Babcia and Jadek, those granny in Polish. They're there's good things and bad things, but I think it wasn't like
I guess
destitute, was it? I think that's kind of unfair.
I know what it is
to paint it like that.
I know what it is, Jack. It's like the fact that I have made fun of you in the past. There's no way you should be about that. There's no way that you should be in any fucking way embarrassed in the slightest.
But I'm not embarrassed.
Okay, that's it. I'm not.
I'm laughing at myself as well because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Listen.
Well, it was ridiculous that we were in that situation in Poland.
I mean, it is quite funny. You go to a shop and in the shop you've got just bottles of vinegar, white wine vinegar. There's nothing
let's
else.
open up a Polish shop.
And there's nothing else. And there's
Welcome
even a
to the
sign.
Polish shop. welcome.
You could write a complaint, and there was when you write a complaint, you have to show your ID and your
Jesus.
number, and no one wrote complaints because everybody was too afraid that they would.
But it's funny. I mean, you were basically living in post World War II Europe, and I remember when I visited you in El Blanc back in the early 90s. I mean, there was still parts of it that hadn't been reconstructed from World War II. Correct.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
El Blanc, because
there was still parts of it that were destroyed.
I think that still is the case, isn't it?
there is because
there's still like collapsed buildings
just
and stuff.
from World War II.
Yeah, because.
But I mean, that blows me away, Jack.
Because
that from World War II,
destruction-
which finished in 1945. Are you saying now in 2024? There are
well, there's no money in El Blanc. El Blanc's like a small
The thing is
city.
that destruction was so big that they chose to reconstruct and rebuild the most important, because they had to rebuild almost 100%, let's say, Gdańsk, Warsaw. They were completely destroyed.
And people don't understand historically
so
what the Polish...
the bricks from, let's say, El Blanc, shifted it to, and there was like... You know, it was a socialist country, and there were people made volunteer and work on, at the building sites, and
And does your dad know people who died in World War II or who were?
I don't know.
Oh, because he was. How old was he?
He was 5.
At the end of it.
Was it? When was he? Was like when was
38. He was born then.
Yeah, well, no, he was born in 1935.
Yeah, he was started. So
he was
4.
10. He was 10 at the end of the war. But I mean, the family members died and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
but like he was a child seeing the war. So but my dad was really poor during the war. He said they didn't have shoes. They used to go in the winter to school, and they had, I think, they had like paper and plastic.
Well, his father was taken by the Gestapo, wasn't it?
Yeah, by
for a
Germans.
couple of months.
Yeah, so he disappeared for a few months, and nobody knew where he was. And one day he appeared again.
And have they tortured him?
Well,
they probably wouldn't say anything. They didn't say.
He couldn't say anything, but probably he's been beaten up, and then threatened, and
then our Polish granddad's mother during the time she developed alopecia.
His wife.
Yeah, but
So,
granddad's
like
mother.
Granddad.
Jadek's matka.
No, Jadek's
mother.
wife.
Your Jadek's wife.
My father.
Yeah,
mother.
your babcia.
Yeah. She lost all her hair.
From the stress.
From the stress, yeah. So I remember her always wearing a wig.
Yeah.
And then she never really talked about it, but she said that she was under huge stress, and that's it. But as children, she was staying in our house, and whenever she went to bed, she would take off her wig and would sneak up.
You would what?
We would sneak up by her bed, pick that wig, and just had fun, put it on, like kids. We wouldn't know that she had such an ordeal. For us, it was funny that then we put it on and make fun of her, and
she probably didn't mind though,
No, but she didn't know she was asleep. We wouldn't do it around her.
Any other orders of business that we have to cover that before you remember what we were talking about?
Well, Barry, your brother Barry got elected.
Yeah,
to
I was
the
down.
European
I was down
Parliament.
at the count in RDS for the European elections.
And was
we
it
were
exciting?
Well, I was standing around there for about 2 hours. You know what I mean? So I know Niall Boylan, this guy who does a radio show, and I used to go on his show, and then one time I think I was quite drunk on his show, and I never went back. But anyway, he got quite a lot of votes. I was quite surprised that
Was he elected?
No.
Was it a local election or?
It was for a member of European Parliament, and so who's the Simon Harris? The Taoiseach arrived, and he had an entourage, and it's kind of funny. Like, I'm 21 years older than the Prime Minister, the Taoiseach of Ireland.
Well,
And,
if you think,
He's got a little voice.
he does have that type of non-threatening sort of voice, and it's very. It's
Well,
a safe,
we shouldn't judge people on their
It's-
voices, but it's kind of difficult.
it's a safe space, and but if he's like, I wonder, is that his natural voice, or has he actually? Is it an affectation to sort of waggle his way into people's affections? Is he hiding something very dark?
Oh,
But he's certainly, he's got grey hair, and
he's got a lot of grey
yeah,
hair.
but that's
He's
not
only
real.
37?
He dyes his hair grey to give himself
No, he
gravitas.
doesn't.
Absolutely. Because if he looked the way he
Well,
should
if
look,
you think I'm dyeing my hair, then you're out of your mind.
If you and I'll tell you something, I'm going to say things that are really obvious. Like it's I'm sorry, but it's wrong.
Murder's wrong.
To push children into ponds is wrong, and I'll stand by that. You've got
Okay.
another thing coming, Buster.
anyway, he's like an old door squeak. But anyway, there you go. So it's not my thing in my area, but it was interesting to see all the people counting all the votes and all that shite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can get paid for counting votes.
Oh yeah, it pays quite well. It pays quite well, apparently.
Okay, next time I want to do that job. We're just sitting by the boxes and then you count.
How long have
them.
we been broadcasting, Daniel?
31 minutes.
Okay. My face is itchy.
Well, just shave yourself. And you know what we did in France? We went.
What are the women like in France, Jack and Daniel?
Sublime.
Oh, but I'm telling you, French man, there's really a huge gap between I don't know, Polish, Irish man and French. All the French men we've seen, they really not overweight. They always like I just hit the microphone. They have like really well developed
mine do that?
muscles.
Look at Hannah's. It's like ridiculous. Why everything you touch is like French men are muscular and sinewy and
yeah, and they always say bonjour and they smile and they're just like, oh my God. I was just like, yeah, those men are quite sophisticated.
Did you get chatting to any one of them?
No, because I don't know. I had
Jack and
two of
Daniel
them.
were just
Yeah,
kind
they
of
were
going
just-
like, "Hey, mom, stop embarrassing us."
No, we were trying to set Hannah up.
No, but
too
like,
shy.
Like it didn't work. But like they were really
Bonjour,
ready to-
my name is Guy. Hello. Want to come and see my bakery?
And also French men like cycling, and they all have those outfits, the proper outfits that accentuate their bodies, and
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Stretchy lycra fabric.
yeah,
Hello, Anna. Want to cycle with me in the montagnes?
yeah. Why not?
Yeah. Look at the
Bosca?
landscape.
I love that.
Oh, Jesus. Jack and Daniel, what about the girls who were at the beach? Did you see nice French girls? Girls.
Well, no, I didn't because I have a girlfriend.
Oh,
and
shit,
she'll
yeah. Oh,
kick
that's
my arse if
Yeah,
I. So Daniel, I'll defer to you there.
Yes, they're lovely. They're lovely French ladies.
Will you pass me that? Welcome to Marseille. Come to the beach, or as we say, la plage.
La plage.
Plage, plage, à le club des pingouins. Bonjour, Hannah. Come avec moi on the bicyclette. I am 35. Quel âge as-tu? How old are you?
No âge.
No age.
No âge.
Too old for me. But anyway, no, I think the vibe was, guys, that they were so much friendlier than the Parisians.
Oh my God, yeah. And Marseille, I heard very bad things about Marseille beforehand because they're well, it has have a lot of poverty, and it's a lot of the neighborhoods are ran by different gangs and such.
Jesus.
And but I mean, if you're not involved in stuff like that, it's actually it's nice. So you just hear on the news certain things. But Marseille is a beautiful, beautiful city with great food. We ate an amazing place, and it's such
Yes.
What was the place you ate that was really nice?
It was called Latte, and it was in Le Panier, which is the artistic quarter of Marseille. It means the basket because there's lots of hills, and it's the site of the original settlement of Marseille. It used to be called Massalia. It was a Greek colony, and it was
Amazing.
actually a city before Paris.
Wow.
Paris was around at that time, but it was called something else. Something
What year
like-
are we talking about?
This is 2,600 years ago, roughly.
Wow.
So 600.
Amazing.
BC.
You see, that's what's amazing about history. Like if we're talking about our parents, our grandparents, our great grandparents, our great 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 grandparents, our great 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 parents, parents, and they were, and if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. But do we think about them? No. Do we pay respect to them? No, we don't. We don't even acknowledge their existence. And they went through struggles, and they had to.
Like a priest.
They had to pay rent. They had to eat food. They had to do the job. They had to take shit, and they did all that ultimately. And we are here. Do we thank you? Let's all thank our ancestors.
Yes.
Dear Spirit of the Universe, I'd like to go back to the through line that connects us, me, Jack, Daniel, Hannah, to the hundreds of thousands of people who have struggled, who have cried, who have laughed, who have made love, who have shagged in places that they weren't allowed to and got caught. And thank you for thank you.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Jack, what are you doing with the soundboard?
Nothing. I'm just looking at things.
And then it's funny, like thousands of years into the future.
But Marseille is super cool. Sorry, Dan.
Oh yeah, we also saw the grotto of Mary Magdalene as well.
So we went for a religious pilgrimage.
Mary Magdalene, obviously the woman who the laundries were named after.
Yeah. So.
And you talk about the amount of people that suffered in that
situation.
situation.
But we're not talking about this. We're talking about Mary Magdalene who carried, the line of Jesus, forward. So I don't know. Is she made a saint in Catholic Church?
Well, I think it's a bit certain parts of Christianity don't look at her favorably because of her. Because she was a prostitute, wasn't she?
Oh, Mary Magdalene.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's why they call it. That's right. Because she was there when Jesus was going to the Mount.
Mary Magdalene is kind of like the symbol of that Jesus loves everyone. That Jesus, Jesus can love a thief, a sinner, and a prostitute. So it means that everyone is welcome.
Yeah, she was a real great woman. Mom's apple pie, 4th of July. She was a hooker.
Yeah.
She was disciple. She was Jesus's disciple, and she was on. She is in that last feast. She is there.
It's funny the way prostitutes, sex workers get, but like they wouldn't exist if it wasn't for all the guys. But nobody sort of casts any aspersions against the guys. So you know what I mean.
Well, there's always the question: what's the first job? Is it the sex worker or the fisherman?
Yeah. The fisherman and the sex worker, two can exist at the same time. But
supply and
Mary
demand.
Magdalene, yeah, that's why, of course, these in inverted commas fallen women in Ireland. Jesus Christ, terrible stuff. Can you imagine mothers and babies? It's just disgusting. God Almighty.
But that's the thing that doesn't. That's the thing that doesn't make sense about how people. Certain religious people go about their lives full of judgment. I mean, not all. I mean, people are people, religious or non-religious. But especially if you're religious and you're following a certain edict and you're following the Bible, and if you read how Jesus acted and you wanted to act how Jesus did, you would love everyone, no matter who they are.
100%. And also, I just the idea of a father and the daughter, being pregnant. Yeah, well, come on in. We look after it. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. But this idea of right, you're going to the laundry. What? And we're going to rip you. Oh, it's madness.
It's disgusting.
What were you just saying there, Jack? About that, what were you just saying there?
Well, we were talking about Marseille.
No. Just before what I just said there. Sorry.
If you're following,
yes,
religion.
That's the good thing, actually. I probably said this before, and I tried to say it to Tommy Tiernan. And I heard him say it. Like, I don't know if Tommy said it, because he's got a bit of touch of the old Messiah complex. Love Tommy, great. Thank you, Tommy, for having me on your show. But he's, but Tommy, I think, said that. Well, God is the Father, right? God is the Father. So I'm a father. You're a mother. Is there anything that your boys could ever do where you'd wish them to scream for unconsciousness for eternity in hell? Never. It just wouldn't happen. Even if they forsake you, or even if they don't believe in you, you'd always wish them well, right? So if God is our Father, let's say, whether you believe in Him or not, it doesn't matter. You're not going to suffer. If you die, you'll be in His kingdom either way. That's a good thing to know.
Yeah.
Even so, you don't have to worry about believing or not believing in God, because if He's anyway, there you go.
But yeah, I mean, like I think maybe certain, like if we look at how humans have evolved, especially throughout the last, after Christ, this religion has played such a central part in the development of humanity. And for a large part of times, it was used as a way to control people, as a way of saying that the monarchs have divine power. And I think that's, we always look as humans like, it's because of religion, it's because of this, it's because of that. But really, sometimes we just need to say, well, maybe it's just because of ourselves, that we do bad things.
Yeah, the humans who are using
like
religion
we tend not to take responsibility as people. We say, if it wasn't for religion, we'd be grand. If it wasn't for capitalism, we'd be fine. Like, all these things are just ideas. Ideas can't hurt you. Humans hurt you,
Yes.
Profound.
I don't really want to hurt you. I don't really want to make you cry. I don't really want to hurt you.
I just want to make the people aware that you can find our podcast on Apple Podcasts now. And do you want to hear the first review we've got on Apple Podcasts?
Oh, yeah.
We've just been there. We're rated 4.6.
What does that mean?
4.6 out of 5.
Oh,
so
shit, that's not good.
It's good. It's good. There's just a couple of haters.
Well, you can't be 5 points.
Blind Boys podcast is like 4.8 out of, or 4.7 out of 5. So
he's not blind and he's not a boy. I don't get it.
And I was reading, because I was looking at Joanne McNally's podcast, but they were criticizing her for getting a sponsorship from McDonald's.
Oh, that's a load of bollocks.
Yeah, but
no,
anyway,
but can I just say, genuinely,
Big Macs.
Oh, because she's aligned herself with first of all, Joanne McNally is not a politician. That's not her area of expertise. She's creating a bit of wealth for herself. She's getting a fucking sponsor.
Yeah, and
because McDonald's.
But
what is it? Because McDonald's didn't protest against the war in Israel.
No, it's just McDonald's fast food.
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's some link between. Or maybe there's McDonald's in Israel or something. I actually don't know. I just read it.
I thought that was what it was about, wasn't it?
Let me see. Boycott McDonald's. What comes up?
I just think it's just poisoning us, McDonald's.
Yeah, well, McDonald's is shite. Yeah, that's okay. But I mean, hang a second. McDonald's is...
McDonald's... Sorry for laughing.
Yeah.
McDonald's gave out free meals to IDF soldiers.
IDF soldiers?
Israeli Defense Force.
Okay, so here we go. McDonald's sponsored Joanne McNally, paid her a certain amount of money to
Does she have to every day, every podcast?
No, she'd have a
She has to bow to the sign of McDonald's
No.
and worship it.
So hang on a second. McDonald's, wherever their corporate office is, looks at Joanne McNally, sees the amount of people that listen to her, and say, "Here, can we go? I'm loving it. Shtickatoon. Joanne McNally's sponsored by the McDonald's." Right now, McDonald's, I know, is a load of shite. I will occasionally eat at McDonald's, like a fillet of fish. and feel disgusting about myself afterwards, like I feel after certain shows when I do old material. Okay, but then right, so that's that. And see, can we pay you fucking 100 grand?
Would you?
100,000 euro.
You would. You know why? Are you never get a sponsor?
I haven't said yes or no. I'm just thinking, what would I do?
Of course, say yes.
What?
You should say yes.
Okay, well, it's never going to fucking happen. Okay, but here's
But
the thing.
if it happened, because you
No,
own that-
actually, no, I wouldn't. No, because I'll tell you why. I'll
Okay,
tell you why.
fuck,
Bitch!
I'm leaving.
Bitch! I'll tell you why.
We have no chance.
I'll tell you why.
Of
And I don't mean Hannah is a
anywhere
bitch.
else.
I'm playing a character.
We do, but you know what? You don't have to. You know, there's.
No, I'll
you
tell
know,
you. I've got it. I've got the
morals.
answer. I've got the answer.
Yeah, you've got your
If I'm in a
moral.
situation where I was going to say my podcast. Well, it's my
Yeah,
podcast.
it's your podcast. yeah.
Where our podcast is being offered
That's
100.
why it's not making any money.
Oh Jesus!
If our podcast is being offered 100,000 euro by McDonald's, we'd be doing great either way. So we don't need that money. That's number one. Number two, I couldn't, in good conscience, fucking advertise or sponsor McDonald's. But here's the thing. I'm not Joanne McNally. Joanne McNally's not me. She's only trying to make a fucking living. And McDonald's is everywhere. Like, okay, if you want to be honest about it. Hi, Hannah. I'm McDonald's. Yeah, I'm going to offer you £100,000. Just like
Thank
before
you.
you say yes, just want you to know that we're very supportive of Israel and we give the troops Big Macs all the time. So in
How
a way,
much you gonna give me?
€100,000.
Thank you. So I can buy my dream house.
We're going to cut everything out. Okay.
Okay, but what I was just bringing up because I
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to read we could cut all that
Okay,
shit
yeah,
out
yeah,
after
yeah.
that because
Okay.
I just wanted to bring up just to finish it was a funny review of our podcast.
Okay.
Love so it's titles it's Mooksy4. Thank you for the 4-star. You could have given us a 5-star rating, but 4-star. It says David is high maintenance. Love this podcast and marvel at Daniel, Jack, and Hannah's resilience and stamina with Dave. I love to shove his babe up his hole. The relentless sucking sound is so ick. Highly entertaining otherwise, and all the better for your dynamics between all four of you and your guests. I love all the sneaky, savage eye bits. That series was class. Keep her lit.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
So obviously he's
you.
having a joke.
Okay, well, look, we're just going to keep... we have Owen Colgan next week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to say... Because Owen, I think he's one of the funniest dudes around. He's got a very interesting angle. I like him a lot. So that's good to look forward to. Hardy Bucks and so on. Hannah,
Yes,
thank
yes,
you very
Hardy
much.
Bucks,
I'm so
yeah.
glad you guys
I
are
love
back
that.
and you had a great time and you're very safe. And bonjour, my Prince
bonjour.
Daniel, my Prince
Je
Jack.
m'en
Thank you
prie.
very much. We'll all do it together. We will...